Hi there. My name's Jake Larson, and I'm the founder and president of a new organization at Cal Poly called Performance Automotive Communications Engineering and Design. We call it PACE for short. The following is a slideshow from our first meeting, and it's the first meeting of our first full school year as an organization, which is really exciting. So it'll just briefly outline our goals, our project, our leadership, our subsystems, and have a few frequently asked questions at the end. So be sure to stay tuned for more updates. Thank you for watching.
Welcome to PACE, Performance Automotive Communications Engineering and Design. I'm Jake. I'm the president and founder of PACE. I'm just going to go really quickly through some slides, then we're going to get into it. So once again, I'm Jake. That's Hobbs over here. He's our VP. Brian's our treasurer. That's him right there. That next to him is Abby. She's our communications lead. In the back, we have Ryan Schoonover, our engineering systems lead. So he's going to oversee a number of subsystem projects. Then we get into subsystem leads. So we have Parker Vlado, who's back there. And then Jay's not here yet because he has a class. Kyle's not here yet because he has a class, and Grazi's not here because he has a class right now. But they're going to be doing subsystems for like powertrain, suspension, and art and design. So our mission statement, this is a little bit outdated. What we're going to do is we're going to need a C4 Corvette, do an LS engine swap, do custom suspension, custom aerodynamics, a lot of carbon fiber work. We're going to test it on track, and we're going to take it to SEMA, which is a show in Las Vegas that happened in 2025. So pretty much any car YouTubers you've seen, this is kind of what they do. We're just going to do something really similar. So yeah, I'm just going to go through some subsystems really quickly. I'm going to stand on this side so the camera can see me. We have engine and powertrain. This is going to be our engine, our transmission, our driveline, and then they might work a little bit with wheels and tires, but we'll see. We have suspension. That's just the coilovers, and you guys know what those are. But it's springs and dampers that'll keep the car from bouncing too much when you drive, keep it sticking to the road, and cornering well with a little body roll. We have our aero team. They're going to do a lot of carbon fiber work, a lot of time in CAD. We're going to try and make this car look like nothing you've ever seen before. We want to do a really good wide body that just makes it stand out. I don't want us to know that it's a C4 Corvette by the time we're done. I want it to be completely different. I'm hoping to do active aero systems, including DRS, to make this thing really sit and really go when it's on the straightaways. So if you're interested in any of that, this is the place for you. Electrical teams, we're going to have a ton of wiring. We're going to have a ton of wiring between engine swaps, gauges and dashes, lighting. Everything needs to be wired. Electrical is going to have their hands full. Livery, this is more art and design. This is Grazi's department. We want to make the car look really unique. We want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Cal Poly for giving us this opportunity to build a super awesome race car. And this is where we get to do that. So if you're interested in design and art, and you don't necessarily have much engineering interest or experience, this is the place for you. You'll have a ton of time, a good time there. Communication, this is Abby's department. We're going to start a YouTube channel here shortly. We have an Instagram. I'm sure a lot of you follow it. If not, check us out, calpoly.paste on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn, and I post stuff all the time. So if you guys want to link in with me, I'll link in with you, and you can see my posts about the club. We're going to just kind of be really active on social media, try and make some revenue through that eventually, just to show that our media teams are working really hard, and maybe subsidize the project a little bit. But we don't expect to actually monetize for a little while because that takes time. Once again, if you're not interested in engineering projects, but you want to be involved in automotive culture, communication is a great team for you. Our sponsorship, right now we have 3 main sponsors. We're going to bring them back up. So right now we have Hennessy, which is a company that makes a lot of aftermarket parts for cars, and then they make aftermarket parts, but then they sell the whole car. So they'll do something called the Exorcist Camaro, for example, which is like a 1,000 horsepower Camaro. They also make their own car called the Venom F5, and they just released a roadster for that. Summit Racing Equipment's been around for a while. If you guys work on your cars, you probably know what Summit is. They're sponsoring us in parts. And then Precision Expedited, you probably don't know what company that is. It's not a racing company exactly. They're a manufacturing company. And they basically said, if you guys submit us your CAD designs, we'll produce things for you on our CNCs or whatever we need to do. So we're not going to have to spend a ton of time manufacturing, hopefully. We can spend more time designing and refining. So that's pretty cool. Those are our sponsors. Just today, actually, I got our first sketches of the car. So this is not a final design. Of course, our aero teams are going to have a lot of work. But ideally, the car looks something like this. That is our Cal Poly Pace C4 Corvette. The wing in the back will probably be active. We have our wider body kit here. You can see the suspension's aftermarket because of the fitment. And then, of course, lots of vents, maybe a pop-up headlight delete. Our art and design teams put a lot of time into this. So we're hoping to bring their vision to fruition. That's the rear. So that's just the other end. You can see really aggressive diffuser and exhausts, vents to release wheel pressure, things like that. And, of course, thanking Tennessee, our sponsor. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I know I'm going to do that really quickly. I do want to answer some questions before we divide into subsystems, but I also want to make sure that we actually get some time like building our teams and getting hands-on and making sure everybody's in the Discord and ready to go. So this is a good time to fill in questions really quickly if anybody has any. Chassis currently? We do not have a chassis currently. We are in the final stages of buying one with the school. But we're really close. I've been working with the administration. I'm talking to like, I think 12 administrators right now. So I've been talking to them all summer. They know what we're trying to get done. It's really like, it's just going to come down to when we can actually get it done. We're really close. We're looking for one that's got no motor, ideally just in a roller that maybe someone sold it out of. But a blown motor might work too, depending if we want to yank it out. But again, we're gonna have to see what we can find and what Cal Poly wants to pay for, because it is kind of their money too. So what we're gonna start with is we're gonna get some 3D models online of the car, so we can start doing things like mapping out how we want to modify the chassis and doing our aero parts. And my guess is we'll 3D model our car with aero parts and then test it in the wind tunnel before we actually manufacture those at full scale. Yes. Anybody else? Yeah.
Are we doing any exhaust mods, or is it just the engine?
Oh, we're doing the exhaust. We're doing the whole thing, all the way. We're doing intake all the way to cat back, and then I don't know if we'll probably take the cats off. I don't know if Cal Poly's going to have any emissions restrictions on us because it's a state vehicle. But I'd like to. If all goes well, we're taking the cats off. Yes.
What's the time commitment going to be looking like for us, like day to day?
Time commitment can kind of be whatever you want to make of it. I do ask a little bit more of my subsystem leads because they're going to be managing a lot of people and a number of projects. But really, if you guys just want to come to meetings and work during the meetings, that's okay. If you want to spend your weekends on this project because it's your lifeblood, that's going to be awesome. We're going to need all hands on deck. If you just like cars and want to come to Cars and Coffee, that's okay too. It's really up to whatever you guys want to do. We just love having you here to support the project and get your hands dirty. Yeah.
I do have another person who said specifically as a class at this time.
Okay.
Exactly. You guys can get from 6 to 8. So how would that work?
Yeah, so I would just tell them to join our Discord for the moment. Again, schedules by person and by room change by quarter. So if he can't work this quarter, he'll probably be able to join a lot more during the winter. But if he just hops on the Discord, we'll have channels for all of our different subsystems that we're going to get kickstarted today. And subsystems will have projects they're going to dole out and research that they're going to dole out. And so you can work a lot asynchronously or virtually with your team as long as you're on the same page and following the Discord. Anything else? All right. Just going to show the car again one more time for the people that just got here. That's our rendering of the car. We also have backside. It'll probably look, yes, right.
Would you like to clarify where we might be working on the car?
Yes. So again, things are still kind of up in the air, but it's looking like we're going to work with the hangar.
Where's that?
The aero hangar's like, it's just up the road right here. And then it's going to be kind of, you know where the fields were? Did you guys have WOW at the fields? Yeah. So it's like this big hangar kind of up by the fields, on the way to like before the baseball fields and kind of to the side of the soccer fields and softball fields. There's a big aero hangar up there. They have a lot of machines. We might get to work out of the IME shops a little bit too, because we are an IME club. So we might get to make some machining, get some machining done here. But my guess is a lot of it's going to be, we're going to do a lot of our CAD virtually, and then we're going to take time making the parts without necessarily having the car with us. And then we'll have to organize times to get the car and actually make our installs happen. So we'll have to schedule that out a little bit. Anything else? Cool. Well, welcome guys. I'm going to divide us up into subsystems. I'll get us on our Discords. And we'll get to work.